Taking a live look outside at the plaza on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Now enjoy today because huge changes are coming to our weather pattern and our comfort levels outside overall as a massive cold front makes its way here on Saturday afternoon. So we have a beautiful rest of our Friday that's now all the way into the overnight. It's going to be comfortable and what you would pretty much expect for this time of year. But then as we head into the weekend, we find a huge drop in temperatures, so much so that we are first warning Sunday to bring frigid temperatures, especially in the morning. We could even find our first flurries of the season. So I want to break down all of that with you, starting with a look at the weekend ahead. So here's what drives that change. It's a huge cold front that is going to pull in a big dose of Arctic air starting on Saturday afternoon. Ahead of that, temperatures not too bad in the 60s. That will be our maximum afternoon temperature right before that cold front swoops through, and then temperatures tumble down well below average for this time of year and start to kick up wind gusts, which then bring in a wind chill factor too, all working together to take those temperatures down to freezing overnight on your Sunday morning. And then Sunday afternoon, sunshine will return, but it only takes us to 40 degrees. So it will be a very cold back half of the weekend and start to the upcoming work week. Both of those Sunday and Monday mornings, we're looking at freeze potential and at this point likelihood before we then allow temperatures to rebound back to the 60s all throughout next work week. So it will be much more similar to what we're having right now once we can clear this big dose of winter air. But of course that arrives right around the weekend, so we will have to deal with that for any weekend plans you have. That's why I really encourage you to get out and about right now. Live look outside yet again shows you those crystal clear blue skies and nice temperatures. In fact, a little warmer than where they should be for early November. Upper 60s, low 70s is where we're at right now. And that's going to make this upcoming cold an even larger shock to the system. So please get outside, enjoy this beautiful Friday evening ahead. If you're headed out for any dinner plans, pick an outdoor table. You'll want to bask in this before we really change and flip the script going into your weekend forecast. So that's tonight. That's this perfect night we have ahead, and it also gives us a moment to prepare for this cold that is going to come in late Saturday night into your Sunday. Of course, that first warning is in place on your Sunday as that Arctic air really settles in, sinks its teeth in, and gives us a frigid rest of the weekend. Check out this temperature drop from between before and after that front comes through. Saturday afternoon, 60s, deceiving before this cold really drops temperatures down to the 20s. That's where we start off at the coolest on Sunday morning. That is, of course, below freezing and may be able to even host some flurries out there. We could find our first snowflakes of the season. We're not looking at impacts from that, but that just further shows you that this is a feel of winter. This is definitely going to be unseasonable for this time of year. So let's reopen that weekend forecast. We have spotty rain chances on your Saturday. They peak about at a 40%. That's late morning. And then in the afternoon and into the evening time is when that cold front will move from northwest to southeast, drawing in all that Arctic air behind it to set us up for a very cold start to Sunday. And a cold finish to Sunday too. So 40 degrees, absolute warmest we'll get on Sunday. We're talking frigid temperatures all around the clock. There's that chance for some snow flurries too. I'll show you future track radar here momentarily, but we will also still have some strong wind gusts, taking those wind chills down to the teens. So that's another reason that that first warning in place. It's kind of everything working against us on top of the fact that this is just going to be completely unseasonable weather for early November. I know we're getting close to winter, but we're skipping a few steps here. So let's talk about what that front is and where it is right now, because it's actually already in existence, but that is way to the north of us. It's sitting right along that northern border of Nebraska as we speak, but over the next 24 hours or so, it's going to take an easy trip down to the south. You can see up above it towards Iowa, already starting to bring them some snow by early tomorrow morning, though for for us, that looks like rain because our temperatures will be warmer. Of course, you remember Saturday afternoon still in the 60s, so we're not dealing with snow flurries and the potential for that until late Saturday night into your Sunday morning. If we do find those, they're likely to arrive while you are sleeping. Then that cold front takes a trip further to the southeast and makes all this room for that cold air kicking off on your Saturday night. So if you have any Saturday evening plans, they're going to feel just as cold as what the morning is going to feel like in the 40s there. And we will have to deal with a wind chill. So wind chill in the evening, damp start in the morning as we have that rain chance out there for your Saturday. Now, we're not talking any thunderstorm potential or anything like that. This is more so drizzle, gloomy, just kind of that damp where you factor that in together with those colder temperatures, and it really does not feel good out there. So that's why we're really encouraging you, and we have been all week long, to enjoy this week, enjoy today before those temperatures drop significantly starting your Saturday evening. We're also watching outdoor plans going on. So big game over at Mizzou. Texas A&M is coming to town. 20% chance of rain for that. More likely than not, it will stay rain-free over at that game. 2:30 kickoff, of course, but by the time that game is wrapping up, temperatures are dwindling and dropping very, very, very quickly. So if you're headed over out east to watch this game tomorrow, or you're here in town, know that if you plan on spending time outside in the afternoon, you will need the jacket by the time we're getting towards 4, 5, 6 o'clock as those temperatures drop off into the 50s and then very swiftly into the 40s. Let's talk about what our precipitation will try to do, because I've mentioned this Saturday morning rain chance. Anything we find will be passing quick drizzle, light rainfall out there. We can see how in the late morning, as I mentioned, that's where we pull in that 40% chance of rain before we then back it off into the afternoon. That front comes through, it wipes out a good bit of our moisture, but as the low pressure system driving it pushes to our north and eventually the east, it will try to spark up some precipitation on the backside of that. So that's when we could start to find some flurries. That's a late Saturday night into early Sunday morning. You can see our rain chance increases too, so chance for rain and kind of a mix in there. You can find some flurries mixed in with that rain, and you can see those pinks, those blues, those whites on the map that we typically don't see quite this early, but they do try to make their way over here before that sun does rise on your Sunday morning. So that is one of the reasons, of course, we have that first warn in place, but here are the rest. It's a frigid day on Sunday, and it's going to be a shock to the system, especially with those warm temperatures we've been treated to so far this week. We could have a random flurry in the morning, but then the rest of the day we deal with gusty winds from the northwest, so that pulls in even cooler air. That pushes those feels like temperatures down into the 20s and at times the teens as well. We could see, stepping you through forecast feels like temperatures Sunday, 9 a.m., headed out to breakfast, brunch, church, anything like that. We're feeling like 15 to 20 degrees out there. Even in the afternoon, temperatures will get up to the upper 30s and low 40s, but we're still feeling like the 20s area wide. Rinse and repeat that for your Monday morning, feeling like the teens again in the morning with those cold temperatures and that wind. Same exact situation on your Monday evening. So we're really watching any of those outdoor plans that we have going on, especially on Sunday. That's when that first warn's in place, especially over at CBKC Stadium for that 11:30 a.m. kick. That places us in the mid-30s, feeling like the mid-20s. So you will need to bundle up. You will need to make sure that you're taking steps to keep yourself warm, your family warm. Make sure that you're keeping an eye on that tire pressure too. You're likely to find that changing or having some sort of issue, especially since it was just so warm this whole past stretch of days. But these overnight temperatures well into the 20s are going to cause some problems out there. Frost, freeze, things like that too. If you're already looking at this and you're already not a fan, I completely get it, but just bear with us because temperatures are going to rebound very quickly into the 60s again by Tuesday and Wednesday. So even warmer than what we'll have on your Saturday afternoon, and we're looking at sunshine then too. So we really have a beautiful forecast to enjoy next week once we can clear this blast of Arctic air, of course, arriving right as we're trying to get out and about for weekend plans, but it will just be a little moment where we'll have to bundle up for a couple mornings and a couple afternoons and evenings, but then we'll be right back to regularly scheduled programming. We'll be right back to those more seasonable temperatures in the upper 30s, low 40s in the mornings, and then those afternoons in the 60s. So stay tuned in with us. We will continue to bring you the latest on this big taste of winter arriving this weekend, but keep in mind we have big changes on the way. Stay alert, stay tuned in, and grab your jacket. Start digging it out of the closet today because you will need it here in about 48 hours. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Friday.